ugly oil pan, sexy oil pan installed.
In the beginning, in the beginning.
Yeah, but when you're going to speed fire.
We're back. And let me start. We're back. It's another video. Day 4 of the Turbo E36 install. And we are making progress. The last place I left off was I got the manifold inside. Everything is all bolted up. I had to go top and bottom of the car to get the bolts inside of the car because it was a hassle. You have to use all of these adjustable wrenches, a stubby wrench to get some of the bolts that's closer to cylinder 1 from underneath the car at the back. 11 millimeters, that's the assortment of stuff that I use. But I think the last place I had left off was, I don't know if y'all remember, if y'all could see down here, when I was jacking up the car, my mount on the driver's side kind of, as I said, and kind of like, you know, shit itself and exploded. So to replace those, I got Honda Speed Shop's poly 80A mounts. I bought off one of my boys, and we're gonna put those in real quick. All right, so let's imagine your guys' cars is not turboed, right? So with that being said, if you can see down in this little pocket right here, this would be in a normal engine bay. This would be a 16 millimeter nut that's sitting on top for the engine mount. And then you go underneath the car, and there is up through this hole right here on the lower control arm, you'll be able to get to the other 16 millimeter. And then I already undid that, so you get those and boom, the one at the top, one at the bottom, pop them out right out. So I haven't taken out the bolt on the driver's side on either top or bottom, but it's easier to get the bolt on the driver's side at the top from in the engine bay. So I'm gonna try to set up the camera so you guys can see me taking out this bolt for the mount. So I'm on the driver's side of the car. Concept is the same. Through the lower control arm, 16 millimeter. Get your impact, your socket, whatever you got, stick it up in there. Y'all can see. Oh, my aim is not the best. It's on there. See, I told y'all the mount was broken from the top. Came right out. Oh, what's leaking? Oh, the whole mount blew. Hold the hell on. Ooh, you see? Ooh, ooh. Once you get the mount out from the bolts, you slide it out through this little pocket right here. But let me go show y'all the bolt at the top. All right, so I took out the little piece of the intake right here, whatever the hell that's called. I took it out, and I was able to get more room to play with the bolt. So I had to break it free with the ratchet. Broke it free, so now that it's spinning. So because my mount was broken, I couldn't use the camera. I couldn't hold the camera and do it. Because the mount was broken, when I broke the nut loose, the whole top of the mount that's supposed to be on the mount itself was spinning with the bolt, so it wasn't loosening itself. So I got a pry bar or a flathead, and I pried it against. If you ever at E36s have this problem, you blow out the top of the mount and it separates. I stuck a flathead down in here between the bracket that goes to the block and the top of the mount itself, and I kept putting pressure down on it. So then I kept trying to spin the nut off the top, and I kept putting pressure down and spinning the nut until it finally just came off. So you see the nut is kind of like cooling down in there. Look at the magnet. And voila, just put the new mounts in. So slide the new mount in, and there's a dowel pin here that you have to make sure it lines up with, and it is on. If you can see, I don't know if y'all can see, I doubt y'all can see the dowel pin. You see it, just I doubt y'all can see, but as you look, it's one hole over. Cause you see the mount, then one hole here, and then the next hole is a dowel pin. So once you get that in there, get the bottom bolt, tighten up the mount, and you're golden. This is the driver's side. Passenger side, concept is similar. You get underneath, put the mount in its spot, and align the dowel pin, and you're golden. Pretty much the same thing on the exhaust side. Just make sure you put back the little heat shield. Condor doesn't make a little tab to hold it, so I just dented the little tab piece that was on it with a hammer and then sat it down, and then the mount, the aluminum mount from the block, is gonna sit down right on top of it. And with that, let's go to the top, drop the engine, and we are done installing mounts. Today we're gonna veer off from the E36 and we're gonna get some stuff done. I went, hey Moose, and took the liberty of picking up a new oil pan. Not new to me, used to somebody else, but a new used oil pan. And I'm gonna bring this over to the guys at Spirited Fabrication in the towns today for them to weld oil pan, an AN10 bung onto it. I got the AN10 bungs from Amazon. Just two, it's a little 2-pack that comes with 2 aluminum hold-on bungs. I'm gonna bring it over and they're gonna get me right. Drop the pan off. Got Moose in the cut. I definitely need to learn how to weld. I'm not even gonna lie. Definitely need to learn. That's something I've done to practice in the future. Hopefully I'll bring y'all along on the journey with me, but pan is gone. We are out. So I actually went back and got the oil pan back because the price that he was charging me, $150 to weld the oil pan bung, and I paid $50 before. I'm about to go pay $40 right now from the same person I paid $50 for from Street Smart in Brooklyn. If y'all know him, y'all know. But yeah, y'all let me know, is $150 a lot? Because I think that's crazy. If you know, you know. Made it, dropped it off, we out. So it's been about like what, 2 hours? I went and got food. Got my food right there. I went and got food, came back, and I didn't even come back. I was going home and Charlie texted me. He was like, yo, sent me a picture. I'm like, oh shit. I was like, damn, that was fast as shit. I didn't even get to make it back into the crib yet. Thankfully, but I had to come back out here. But let me stop chatting. Got it done, welded up in a nice little spot too. Look at that. He tucked it away from the screws like I asked him so that I'll be able to bolt the pan up easily. My boy. So I need to get a gasket for the oil pan, and then we're just gonna swap them over. That's 1, 2, 3. Hopefully. Let me see. There's been an instance where somebody said something was 1, 2, 3 and it wasn't 1, 2, 3. So I hope.
That's 1, 2, 3.
But yeah, got the oil pan done. So forward to the car now. Swapping the oil pan over. Engine support bar. Fuck, I gotta undo this goddamn mount again. 16mm nut right through here, right there. Can't see, but right there. On the other side, the manifold is blocking another 16 that I gotta get from underneath the car if you install this kit. Not on the passenger side, you gotta get from underneath the car. 16 on the top, 16 on the bottom. Let's undo the mount. So engine supported. I got the here bolts for the mount out. I kind of fucked up the threads on this one. That's okay. I'm gonna solve that. I'm gonna figure that out later. Now, yeah, I'm jacking up the engine with the hoist, and it's just to drop the subframe to get a little bit more space and get the pan out of here. There's a bunch of 10 millimeters all over the place, and there's a Torx right here and right there, and I think that's everything. So I took a few of the bolts out already, 10 millimeters, so let's keep it pushing. All right, so far I got most of the oil pan bolts out. There's a few 10 millimeters left in there. You got to take out the 3 Torx, one here, one right here, and one right here. And then I got to finish taking out the other 10s. We're gonna drop the subframe. Pan will be ready to come down. To start, you have to get the power steering pump out of the way. So you have to take off the 10 millimeter that's right here on the reservoir to let it dangle when you get the rack down, and then you have to get the belt off of the power steering pump's pulley. So to do that, there is a cover that's on the tensioner that's right down here. You can see right, the cover sits on it like right here. Take a screwdriver, flathead, pop it off. Then I seen a whole different bunch of things saying that it's a 8 millimeter Allen, that it's a T50, but mine, after I popped the cover off, I got a 16 millimeter socket, put it in there, because the idler pulley bolt or whatever, the tensioner bolt is a 16. I put it on there, push down, because make sure you tighten in, push down on it, and it loosened, and the belt came off. So that's that step. Now unbolt the power steering reservoir, and we're gonna go after the power steering rack. I'm starting by dropping the power steering rack while unbolting it. It's 15s on both sides. 15 up top, 15 on the bottom, one right here, one right there. Same thing, there's a nut on the top. You gotta get 2 ratchets or 2 wrenches, however you feel to finesse it and get that. So I'm gonna try to pop the camera, and we're gonna get that brushed up out the way real quick. Update, I lied. It's 15 on the bottom for the power steering rack to the subframe, and a 16 bolt on the top. A 16 bolt and a 15 nut, like, or a 16 nut and a 15 bolt. Like, why would they do that? Why can't they just use the same size shit? What the f? Got both side bolts out for the rack to come off of the subframe. Remember I said 15 bolt at the bottom, 16 nut at the top. I had to use an adjustable wrench from the front on the driver's side to get to the nut at the top here, because the clearance is non-existent. So I'm gonna go for the steering shaft, whatever that shit is. It's a 13 nut. Oh my god, rust just fell in my mouth. Yeah, I'm gonna go for the steering shaft now. 13 nut, 13 bolt. Got the nut and bolt out. As I said, it was a 13 on both sides. At least BMW was smart about that one right there. I don't even know where the nut fell. But it fell somewhere, but it's out. So I'm gonna disconnect that. Just gotta stick a flathead like right here in between these two to split it, and then pop it out from the joint, and you should be good. Just make sure that you keep the steering wheel straight. Don't turn the wheels or you finna have alignment problems and bad days. Oh, I also gotta drop the lower control arms. I think these are 216s on both sides. All right, almost there. All of this work just for a fucking oil pan. All right, I'm back up to the top. Power steering pump, 113mm here, another one off a little bit to the left. I know you can't see in the cut, and then there's supposed to be one off to the side, and that should drop it. I don't know where that side one is, but we're gonna find it. Let's go. Alright, that's one. I got a long extension, a long 13, put it in there. Pause. The bolt is, we'll put the GoPro up right there. Hopefully y'all can see it, because I can't even see to tell y'all. Mine only had 2 bolts. 2 at the top, that's all that held the power steering. Alright, so I marked the steering shaft like right here to make sure that it lines up with the marking. I'm almost done. I'm just pushing it out now, or trying to get it out. Alright, so I marked the steering shaft like right here to make sure that it lines up with the marking. I'm almost done. I'm just pushing it out now, or trying to get it out. The space down here that I have right now. I'm trying to get the dipstick out, trying to pull it out from the top. If y'all can see where my finger is pointing down right through here, there is a 10mm right where my finger is. You're gonna have to, right underneath the intake, a 10mm that's holding the dipstick tube in, and then you got to take out the 2 fuel lines. If you could see down there in the little bracket that's right there, you got to take out the 2 fuel lines, push them out, and then there's a vacuum hose at the bottom down right there. If y'all can see, probably can't, but there's a vacuum hose right down there. You're gonna have to push that off. I'm gonna try to get that from the bottom, because I tried to get it from the top, wasn't having it. So yeah, let's try. Let me just get this 10mm out, try to show y'all where it's at for real, so y'all can get a better picture. All right, so I got to the bolt. If you could see where the ratchet, where the socket is at, and my swivel, I got through it like that, and I was able to break it loose. I'm gonna take my electric ratchet, try and see if I could got it. See? So I was able to do it like that. Now the dipstick is free. Now I just gotta go knock out that vacuum hose at the bottom, and I'll be able to pull it out. All right, so I'm underneath the car now. Here's the vacuum hose I was talking about. Just trying to ow. Got it off. Now, back up top. All right, so now that the dipstick tube is out, this right here where my pinky's hidden is where it's gonna get plugged. And other than that, might as well change out the O-ring on it right here while you're at it. But my dipstick doesn't look, it's pretty rotted right here. I should change the dipstick. If anybody got a dipstick that looks better than this, hit me up. But yeah, so now back underneath the car, drop the subframe and oil pan out. Oh boy, I feel like you gotta take apart the whole car to do this thing, like everything. Let's finally get it out of here. All right, so I was having trouble getting the oil pan to move because I forgot that there is 2 bolts that's inside the transmission in these 2 holes here. One here, one here, two long 10 millimeters, and they were holding the oil pan up, but now you see it's dropped and everything on the subframe is disconnected. So I'm going to slide the jack in and I'm going to drop the subframe slowly so that I have enough room to get the oil pan out. Oil pan is off. We're good to go. I decided while I was gonna do the oil pan and the gasket to do the oil pump nut, because everybody is always talking about it. I see it online and all this stuff like, yo, the oil pump nut backs off and the oil pump gear spins off and you lose oil pressure and you never know, blah blah blah. So I was like, it's $12 from Rally Road. I think I'll link it in the description. Got this. Now I'm gonna take off the old oil pump nut, put this on, clean up the gasket, put back on the new oil pan, and put everything back together. Sounds like a lot, but it is a lot, but not too bad. Let's get the motion moving. If y'all could see right here, the gear, the nut. Alright, so if y'all can see, I got the nut off, 17 millimeter to take it off. Make sure that you put it back on the way you took it off. The writing was on the outside, this side was facing against the gear, so it went like this. So I have some red Loctite right here to put on the threads here and then to screw the nut back on, and then tighten it down to 18 foot-pounds to make sure that it doesn't come off in the future, even though it was pretty tight just now. But preventative maintenance, guys, preventative maintenance. The way, guys, it is reverse thread, so it's righty to loose, lefty to tighty. It's not righty tighty, lefty loosey. It's the opposite way around. You see I'm threading it on to the left, and to tighten it now, and then to get the safety wire inside. Nut, oil pump nut on, safety wire in. I used a pair of vice grips to hold on to the wire and tighten it, if you get that idea. Now I'm just gonna scrape off the gasket, clean up down here, and put back on the next oil pan. Almost done. I was able to get everything done off camera, because doing it by yourself is dead hard. Like putting the oil pan up and getting all the bolts to line up, and then the same thing with the subframe, putting it up in the proper spot and getting the bolts to line up. Doing that by yourself is hard. Like, I'm telling you, it ain't easy. But with that being said, as y'all can see, everything is put back together down here. Pump is up, sway bar up, rack connected back. I made sure that I tried to align it. I did a magnetic drain plug to the oil pan, pan up. Everything is bolted and looks the way that it should be. The mounts are in their spots, this side and this side. Both mounts are there. So everything is done down here. I tried to take the O2 sensor out because I need to get a bung tapped into the downpipe for it, since I'm using the stock computer. So I have to fish the O2 sensor up to the top, and then I ended up just spraying down the bottom down here with brake cleaner. Try to clean it up a little bit, make it look a little bit more presentable, because it was looking hectic down here. But we are done with the oil pan. So next steps is just really bringing the turbo and starting to install that, honestly, and then we out. I honestly do think that I'm gonna wrap this video up here, because it was about the intercooler and it ended up changing into the oil pan. I don't know how we got there, but that's where we ended up at. Oil pan is done. Next steps, installing the turbo, feed line, drain line. That's what's coming up next. We still got to do the intercooler. They got to knock that out, and I got to do a little bit of fuel stuff, change out my valve cover gasket, because I got a stainless steel valve cover, do all of them little tiny things, and we're steps closer to getting the E36 done. Yo, shit is gonna be lit. But if y'all like this video, please don't hesitate to like, comment, subscribe, put on your post notifications for when I post next time, that you get a notification so you see the video first, or one of the first, however you want to do it. But listen, that's the goal. I'm trying to, as I said, 2024 is about consistency. It's about production. We are going up this year. Like, we are raising the roof. Merch is also coming soon. Don't worry about that. I got a little like mock-up made, but I'm trying to wait till I make everything like mass production, you feel me? Get that out the way. So yeah, so as I said, this is the end of the video. Thank y'all for watching. Episode, I don't know, 4 coming next. Coming soon. See y'all in the next one. Peace.